But yeah, we're not in some of them for a long time.
I did like America Chavez a lot, though. I think she was a likable character.
I like the setup, but like she didn't do much.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's what it tells.
Remember when that bee scared her and she like killed her parents? Stupid kid. She's dumb. Welcome to The Fourth Act, our entertainment podcast where we discuss TV, movies, and more. My name is Gabe, and I'm here with my buddy, my pal, Misael.
Well, hello, everyone.
Is that going to be your slogan?
No, just...
Hi. How do you feel about the buddy, my pal thing?
Hi. What?
My buddy, my pal, Misael. Did you notice I was doing that?
No.
No? You're just waiting for me to throw it to you, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. I just noticed it right now. Actually.
I like it. It rhymes.
And
one day...
You know what? Actually, I think I noticed it the first time and I was like...
I did it on accident the first time. Like, it just came out, which made me think I should just keep doing it.
Well, keep doing it.
And we can make a shirt one day. My buddy, comma, my pal. Put your face. We could spell it out in your hair, too. Yeah.
In my hair?
Yeah.
What do you mean my hair?
That's your signature. That's your look.
His hair?
Yep. I wish I had that.
Thank you.
Anyway, what are we doing here today?
Today... we are ranking Phase 4 and 5 of the MCU.
We're finally doing an MCU topic.
Wait, what do you mean?
This is our first MCU topic. Like purely MCU?
Oh, purely MCU?
Yeah, we've talked about MCU projects, but
yeah.
This is purely MCU, but we're only ranking 4 and 5.
Movies.
Yeah, specifically movies.
We
might throw in some thoughts on TV here and there,
yeah.
But overall, it's kind of tough to rank movies and TV. Like, I don't know how you do that.
Well, elaborate. Why?
Well, because like, how can you? I can compare a movie just fine
to another movie.
Yeah, to another movie. But like, once you compare TV and then like when you throw in like shows like What If, like how do you compare? How do you rank What If?
Yeah, it's difficult to do that. So
either way, we're only focusing on movies.
Yeah, maybe once we have more series, maybe we could do a series.
Who knows? Maybe even at the end of this, we'll change our mind. Who knows?
I know we might.
We're just.
You know, I'm sure we have a few ideas and thoughts. Okay,
so first, before we start ranking, I kind of want your general thoughts on the MCU after Endgame, because right now it is a little messy.
Well, go on.
It is a little messy, and people are talking shit. That's it.
People are talking. They're talking a lot of shit.
What are your thoughts on that?
My thought is that although I agree it is not what we're used to, from what we were first getting from Phase 1, you know, but I don't think it deserves all this shit talking.
And that's kind of what I want to talk about.
Yeah, I think people are either just being too harsh or maybe they just can't get down from that wave that Endgame gave them.
Not just that, but everything. Just Phase 3 in general kind of just spoiled us. It started with Civil War. And then it ends with Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah,
that's tough to beat.
It's tough to beat. It's tough to come down from. So I kind of get it, but they got to get their head out of their ass.
Okay, so fans or Marvel?
Fans.
Okay.
Fans.
No,
they got to get their head out of their ass.
I do agree with you. Because we mentioned it before. It's starting to sound like Star Wars fans.
Yeah, which is a very toxic fan base. And we like Star Wars.
Right, yeah. We're Star Wars fans.
We're Star Wars fans.
But we're not those
Star Wars fans. So I do, kind of want to say that the way I've been seeing like this new Phase 4, Phase 5 or whatever, or post Endgame stuff is that it's all fresh. We're kind of starting with the new slate in a sense.
Right.
I know a lot of these characters already have their history. They've already been kind of built upon and whatnot. But I think we need to go into this next saga fresh. And that's really what it is.
Now, you say go into the next saga, but we're like halfway done.
Yeah. Yes, I know. Yeah. We're halfway there.
So I do get it.
Yeah.
It is messy. There seems to be no, I don't want to say no vision, because it does seem like there is a vision, but it's so hard to see it when so much is happening around it. Like we were talking a little bit about Secret Invasion earlier, and you think that it's going to be this big, important story. And normally I thought it would have been, but it seems so detached from everything, from like the multiverse timeline or saga that we're going through right now. And not just that, but like we start off phase 4 with Black Widow, a movie that takes place before Civil War does in phase 3. So it's all over the place. I think we're seeing a lot of directors take more control, at least at first. Like Taika in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Right.
Like Sam Raimi in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Like you're starting to see Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios pull back a little bit, but by doing so, I think people are seeing things that they're not used to.
Right.
With that being said, Love and Thunder does have a lot of problems. Multiverse of Madness, I kind of like the quirkiness that Sam Raimi brings to it. That's why. So I think, or let me pull this back a little bit. I remember going into phase 4, excuse me. I remember going into phase 4 that Kevin Feige said there's not going to be any more phases, that they're kind of just going to do what we've seen. Like they're kind of just going to make projects. But I think they quickly realized, like even before some of the bad movies, that okay, people want the phase, they want to build up to something. But by then, I think we're already too deep in. We're already into development and all these projects, TV, movies, and now I think they're starting to pivot back to how it used to be. And I don't know, it kind of feels wrong because it feels like all those fans that were complaining about, and there are, I have my complaints too. But it seems almost like people complaining online made Marvel change. Right. And I don't think that's the case. I think, well, money, first of all, money's the most important thing to them. Money talks. But it's just so strange, like coming out of COVID. Like, I just don't know what, in fact, changed their minds to start pivoting back to how they used to. I don't know if it's the fan reaction. Or, I know COVID did change the slate a little bit, so things were even messier. So there's just so much. Yeah. But yeah, what do you think they should do going forward?
Well, first of all, I'm going to backtrack a little bit to give my own thoughts. I think part of this whole like convolution, this whole like mess that we were kind of talking about, comes from it seems to me like they're kind of taking like a more comic book route than it is like a structurized universe as they did from phase 1, phase 3, or
like if you like Thor, follow Thor's story. If you like Moon Knight, follow Moon Knight's story.
Yeah, so kind of what like you'll have the different styles. You have the street style, the magic style, or whatever, which is the characters that pertain to those styles and whatnot. So, and I think we've talked about this before, where it's gonna get to a point where we're getting so much content where it's like, all right, you choose what you want to see.
Right.
Like you choose what style you want to keep up with, and then at some point, when we're getting to that major plot of the saga or whatever it is they're doing, it all kind of comes together, and then it leads to that one main point.
And I think they're still doing that. Yeah, it's just not every project is building towards that. But I also wanted to talk a little bit about previous projects and the other phases, because everybody seems to like have some revisionist history. Like every movie from phase 1, from the start of Iron Man all the way up to Infinity War, led to Infinity War, and that's not even the case.
No,
like phase 1.
I don't understand that argument either. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like okay, phase 1, we knew what the plan was, right? They wanted to get to Avengers 1, but it's not like since Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, like they weren't all leading to Thanos eventually.
No.
I mean, we had like some setup moves that Iron Man 2 set up a lot of stuff, but that one's criticized for being bad. Yeah. That's another thing. Like we're just gonna be ranting and bouncing all over the place. But that's another thing, is acting like phase 1 and 2, especially perfect. 2, like we're perfect or didn't have their stinkers. Like I remember, because we've been watching the movie since the beginning. I've gone to every MCU movie premiere since Iron Man 1.
So
Every single one.
That's almost... That's over 10 years.
That's over 10 years.
Dude, it
like,
took me
that's
a second. I was like 2018. I was like, how old are we?
We're getting old, buddy.
We're getting old.
Every single one. And that's just because I watched like every Marvel. I didn't even know that it was leading to anything. I just was watching every Marvel movie or every superhero movie. But
to be fair, I didn't know either. Like I just knew they were superhero movies.
I think I found out after Hulk. Because Iron Man was in there, and it wasn't post-credit.
You figured this out way before me. Then,
okay. It was just like on the internet, too. Like the family computer I would get on. That's how long ago this was. As I hopped on, I think after watching Incredible Hulk, that like I had to force my stepdad to take me to. Because like this wasn't like the MCU yet. Like it wasn't a thing. So I've been around since the beginning of this thing, and I'm sure so have you.
So I have to. I can't say I went to every premiere, but I did go see I'd say about 90% of the movies,
right?
And the rest I saw from like CDs, like they'd burn. My cousin would burn it. Like,
hell yeah,
got this movie.
Everybody had their connect.
Heck yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's my story.
So I remember, like, I've been following the MCU fan base, and it didn't used to be so toxic, and it was so fun just like picking up like all these Easter eggs that were Easter eggs at the time, like watching Captain America in the ice.
Yeah.
And like the Incredible Hulk deleted scene and shit, like deleted opening.
Yeah.
So at first it was just trying to build up to Avengers 1. And then even like Avengers 1, like they have the tease of Thanos, sure. But I think it was, what's his name? Director of Avengers 1. Why am I forgetting? Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon is the one that like was telling Kevin Feige not to do Thanos right away on Avengers 2, that he would do Ultron first and that we'll save Thanos for later. So if it was up to Feige, we would have just had Thanos in like phase 2. So it's kind of just, they've been like rolling with the punches.
Right.
Like there's a plan, but it's not all been structured for 10 years. It's like since Iron Man 1, the plan was it's Infinity War.
It's really hard to do that.
Right. And at the time, nobody even knew that this was possible. They're the first ones to do it.
Yeah. It's kind of, I just want to add, like you're right about the Easter eggs. I don't think I've seen one, or even like I don't think we've talked about an Easter egg in an MCU movie for a while now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're there.
Yeah,
but like before, if like Captain America was an Easter egg, like the whole him was an Easter egg that you had to find.
It's interesting because now I'm wondering if that's probably what people are like missing out on.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe we're just out of the game and these younger kids are doing it.
It was just, random thought. But.
So I bring that up to say it did take 10 years to get from Iron Man to Endgame, but it didn't really start getting serious until Guardians 1, when they start introducing the Infinity Stones. And like also like retroactively, they made some of those like relics from Phase 1 Infinity Stones.
Infinity Stones, yeah.
Like, because that's not the way that they do things now. That was just
coincidence.
That's
I
just,
think they just figured out a way, like, hey, we can make this into an Infinity Stone.
Yeah, like, how do we, exactly. That's how it was. Like, how do we bullshit our way into this?
Actually, I think James Gunn even just recently said it, like, in an interview or something, that he kind of just randomly came up with that. He was like, you know what, I'm just going to have the collector have the Infinity,
and come up with some bullshit.
And he's like, I came up with it in like an hour and a half.
Right.
Which is interesting because he also
I think he said half an hour. Huh? I think he said half an hour. 30 minutes.
That's crazy. Regardless. Half an hour, an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's quick.
He also mentioned, and I think this is kind of interesting, that at one point he was kind of helping Kevin Feige with the structure of the whole, of the MCU, and that was kind of interesting to hear from him.
And I don't know if they're still doing that or not. I don't know if maybe that's what's missing, is that there's not like a group of like, a think tank.
Maybe what we need, or what would be beneficial to the MCU from now on, is getting the directors for this coming phase, or whatever they want to call it,
saga,
and they're like, hey, we need to somehow work together to, build this saga and this universe, and kind of figure out a way to connect these major points in our movies.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. And I think they're getting there now. I don't know about directors being involved, but I think they're getting to a place where the story's going to start condensing.
Yeah.
But back
That's the hope,
to,
at least.
I just want to finish up that point really quick. So if we say Guardians 1 is when it started getting serious, right? Because even like Iron Man 3 doesn't lead to anything. Like that was just a one-off. That
was just kind of throwing it in there.
Yeah,
almost.
I mean, Thor: The Dark World did connect, and they did say that was an Infinity Stone. At the end,
Soul Stone, I think it was.
The reality
Stone.
the red one.
Yeah.
So maybe we should say that, like, but for sure, Phase 2.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say Iron Man 3. So that was what 2013
I believe
to Infinity War, which is what 2018. I don't remember shit
17.
before COVID, man. I think it was 18.
Maybe.
And I think Endgame was 19, like right before COVID.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So like 6 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we're doing now is we started at 2020, and it's supposed to end in what 2025.
Yeah. So we
have 2
years left.
So 5 years. So you see, like that's what I'm saying. It's not like we need, because people were complaining that they're rushing it. Now I don't think the problem is that they're rushing it. I think the problem is that it's so unfocused and spread out that you kind of don't know what to watch. And because not everybody's like us, not everybody's going to watch every single project.
Right.
Where before you could watch every movie, and whether it be a one-off, like maybe there's at least an Easter egg that will tease what's happening next or the next movie. So I get that. Like that is an issue. There's way too much going on.
Yeah.
With that being said, if you watch a lot of it, you are going to be rewarded.
Yeah.
For example, Multiverse of Madness. I saw a lot of people were complaining that, like, why did Wanda, turn evil? Well, you didn't watch WandaVision. So any thoughts on any of that?
Some things and what if?
Because I've been just rambling.
My thoughts about that are just kind of, I think we're going to get to a point where eventually it will all kind of condense together. It's all going to really come together.
Right.
Maybe in the next year or so. I can't remember the next movie's coming out.
I'd hope so.
Yeah, but then again,
we'll go through all the movies.
It kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier, where it's getting to a point where it's so much you have to just choose what you want to watch.
Right.
The people that choose to watch everything, just like you said, they're going to be rewarded. They're going to, they're going to understand things a lot better.
But that's a lot to ask too. Like I get that.
It is a lot to ask. So,
6 hours for a show, 8 hours maybe.
It's a big commitment.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I get it. I get why people are frustrated. And maybe some people are just getting some FOMO because there's too much to watch. They're getting overwhelmed. They're not watching stuff. And then they're just like, oh, what's going on in Miss Marvel? Like, and then they'll complain about like the CGI or something like that.
I can see that happening for the people that are just coming into the MCU. Like, it's a lot. Yeah. I remember I rewatched.
I don't know how you could. I don't know how you could now get into the MCU.
I rewatched every movie. I think it was during COVID, and that took days of like almost nonstop watching movies.
Yeah.
So it's a commitment. It's hard.
I remember after Endgame, I was just like, all right, we did it. 10 years. This is my story. I don't know, because it's never ending, man. Even after this, like, who knows?
Yeah, we're probably gonna be dead, and
exactly. That was
gonna be going.
That was my point. It's like Endgame happened. I could die now. I've seen the conclusion. Well, it was like 10 years of build up, every premiere and shit. But yeah, so going forward,
right?
Do you agree? I'm sure that it needs to get more condensed.
Yes, I do agree with that.
And you're kind of seeing them pivot from all the shows to doing special presentations. Because so far, 2 for 2 for special presentations. Like that, the Guardians holiday special and then Werewolf by Night. Both of those are great. You get in, you get out. You're not wasting any time. Because I think the problem with the shows is that the first episode is usually good. And then it seems, maybe even like the first 2 or 3, but for sure the first one where they're setting it up, and then it seems like they're just bullshitting their way until they get to the last episode where they finally become the hero. And they all do that same arc too, where like they get the outfit, they do one thing as like the hero. They're finally She-Hulk, they're finally Miss Marvel, they're finally Moon Knight. Well, Moon Knight was Moon Knight the whole time, but I think they're
maybe change the structure of the shows a little bit.
I just think that they shouldn't do a show unless there's enough to tell. Like Daredevil's 18 episodes or something like that, like 30-minute episodes, 18. If they have enough story to tell, go for it. Mm-hmm. But it's gonna suck if like 10 of those episodes.
The way I see
useless.
it is that I think they really do want to expand more on these characters that otherwise would be more difficult and maybe more expensive to do with just movies.
But that's my point. Is like that's fine if you have enough to tell.
Right.
Where it feels like in a couple of these shows that middle part, it feels like we're just dragging.
I think the problem is that they should completely separate the shows with the movies.
Wow.
I think that's the only way to actually tell a more refined story for these individual characters than having to connect the shows with the movies.
So connect. Do you think they shouldn't connect at all? Because, like, for example, Moon Knight.
I don't think so at all.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because Moon Knight, I would have assumed
it could reference it. It can maybe do a few things here and there, but having it do like main focus type of thing, no. I don't think they should do that. Because
Moon Knight, at first, like, I would have assumed that everything MCU is going to be connected in some way, but it's starting to feel like Moon Knight is not connected at all. I don't see, unless he just pops out at one point in, Secret Wars or whatever, a Kang Dynasty.
Yeah.
Which was,
well, you see, like, I thought Moon Knight was great.
Oh, yeah.
And I think part of the reason,
I think it's great for the most part, but it also suffers, in my opinion, from, like, going a little too long.
Yeah. So, the part that was great about it was that aspect of it, that it wasn't connected to the movies. It was just its own storytelling, just giving us that character for who he is.
Yeah.
And if they're able to do that with every show moving forward, I think that would be a lot more beneficial.
So you think the show shouldn't connect, but should the characters eventually pop up in the movie universe? Or you're saying
so kind of like Moon Knight, right? We know he exists. You don't need him to be connected to the movies. If he comes in along in the movie somehow, great. He's more than welcome to. Why? Because we already know him. We know his
I want that Marvel Knights movie so bad.
I know.
And I thought we were getting closer to it, but now with Blade getting pushed back.
Yeah.
Man.
So, and then if they do want to connect the character from the series to the movie, they could have a special. I don't know. Those are just my thoughts.
I think if I were in charge, which I'm not, for obvious reasons, I think I would cut down almost completely on the shows. Unless like you're writing the special presentation, you're just like, we need more than an hour. Yeah, then you do more.
I mean, have more episodes.
So you wanted to go long. That might be it.
It goes on with what you're saying, right? Yeah. You need to have a lot more story, a lot more to tell.
Yeah.
Right. And a series that's less than 10 episodes, long, it doesn't feel like a show. It just feels like a long movie.
Do you feel like these 6-episode shows, or 8, I forgot how long they are now.
It varies.
Do you think that they're getting too ambitious to fit into 6 hours, or do you think there's just not enough story for 6 hours? Because
both.
That's the thing. Because like Moon Knight,
it's both. Yeah,
I think it was paced really well up until it starts getting really weird with all the gods.
The last
shit.
2 episodes, maybe.
Yeah, and then at that point, I was just like, I think we needed more time.
Yeah, at that point,
or we needed to cut out like the crazy shit. Like then we need to just cut that out. Or
make it
expand it. Yeah, where you're right. It is both.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a bit of both. They just have to find the right balance. And
well, someone ain't doing it. I think his name rhymes with Bevan Beige.
Whoever it is.
Whoever that man
Whoever it is.
Okay.
They're not doing it.
So that's what we think about the state of. I don't think it's any worse. Okay, how about this really quick? If you even have any thoughts, because it's a lot to ask. Where would you put Phase 4? So everything before, like everything up to Black Widow, Black Panther. So Shang Chi, A Multiverse Madness, Thor: Love and Thunder. You can even put the shows if you want. How do you compare that or rank it to Phase 1, 2, and 3? If you know them off the top, because I know it's a lot of movies.
I don't know them at the top of my head, but it's not at the top.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's at the top either, but I have it right under Phase 3. So Phase 3 is the best, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to say 1 or 2.
Do you think it's better than Phase 2?
Phase 3 more than 2?
Phase 4 more than 2.
Oh, yeah. Phase 2, I think, is the worst, even though it has 2 bangers on there, which is Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
But it also has Thor the Dark World, Iron Man 3, which I think is fine.
I liked it.
People came around on that one. At first, people
just shitting on it.
Were shitting on it because of the Mandarin thing. Everybody, all of a sudden, was a big Mandarin fan. Out of nowhere. Just the way everybody's a big MODOK fan now. Oh, don't touch my face. Oh, no. See, I wouldn't have got that reference if I didn't just rewatch it yesterday or today. Yeah, so stupid. I have it right under Phase 3. Phase 3 is... It's overpowered. It has Infinity War, Endgame, Civil War, 2 Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, it doesn't compare. I think that one is at the top for me as well.
Now, Phase 4, which will ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, because because Phase 1 has Iron Man 1. Incredible Hulk is fine. Iron Man 2, even though that gets shit on, I think is fine. Thor 1. See, they're all like just okay in Phase 1. But I remember that's what I was gonna bring up earlier. At the time, people were like, "Oh, only Iron Man's a good movie," and then Avengers came out, and then there's like, "All right, you guys did it."
Avengers is a good movie.
Avengers is good. I think it's great. It's still up there for me. We'll rank the MCU one day too. And then Captain America. I think that one's underrated. I think that one's really good. Well, really good. So I think Phase 4 has more misses because it's so big, but they also take a lot of big swings.
Right.
And we'll get into it, but I think if I had to rank them, it'd be Phase 3, Phase 4, Phase 1, Phase 2.
Okay.
That's how I would do it.
I think I agree with you.
So we'll get into it. We'll get into Phase 4 and 5. Even though 5 is just starting. Yeah, we're only 2 movies, and are we a show in there yet?
No,
right? No. Secret Invasion is the first one. So I don't know when this is going to release, but we're recording this before Secret Invasion comes out. We're recording this on, what's today? May 19th. So, you don't have the list here. I have the list.
I don't have the full list.
So, would you like me to either just show you this or just go one at a time? I said just go one at a time. Okay. I think you need to get yourself a little postcard or use your phone app. Something, a notes.
I'll use the notes.
Something. So, we'll go in order. Phase 4 started out with Black Widow. Talked about it earlier. It takes place before Civil War, and it was the first movie of Phase 4 after Endgame. So, to me, I'll give you my quick thoughts. I'll pass it back. Black Widow was underwhelming when I first seen it. I think this one didn't come out in theaters. This was during COVID.
Oh yeah, that came out on Disney Plus.
That's on Disney Plus. And I seen it and I was a little disappointed. Like, the villain with Taskmaster I'm not a big Taskmaster. Again, I'm not going to act like I'm a big Taskmaster fan all of a sudden. But it wasn't what I was expecting.
Right.
Especially like playing like the Spider-Man games too. And he's just this crazy ass assassin. And most of the scenes, like the cool stuff where the gimmick of Taskmaster is like he mimics you. And this one, she mimics you.
Supposed to learn
by watching
your moves. Yeah.
They're a watcher. They like watching. And from what I remember, all the moves that she was mimicking were in the trailers and commercials anyway, which I try to avoid commercials, but I think at the time it was the first MCU movie in a long time. And I remember just being like, well, that's it. Like, we saw all of them already in the trailer. Like, I'm talking about during the movie. She didn't do anything exciting. I don't know. I guess I thought she was going to mimic some cooler moves, or we were going to see something.
Right.
So just villain was a letdown. Story overall, I thought was okay. I love the family dynamic that they introduced with Red Guardian. Florence Pugh steals the show.
The mom, I forgot her name.
I forgot her name too. But she's not that important.
Yeah.
But I rewatched it.
Oh, you actually
rewatched last summer. I watched a lot of the Phase 4 movies again, just back to back to back. I think I was just excited about like Multiverse Madness or something last summer.
Right.
And so I watched it with knowing what it was. And I liked it a lot more the second time around.
Really?
Like I kept looking back at Jets like during the movie. She was doing her own thing, like cleaning or something, and I was like, "Yo, this movie's not that bad." Because at first I was really disappointed. I'm talking about like I'm giving like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I remember that.
Now I'd probably bump it up to like a 7. So it's still I'm still not like blown away by it or anything, but it was a lot better. Than
That's
I thought.
a big jump, though.
Yeah, I thought so too. Because I was rewatching it, just accepting it for what it is. It's not this big next step in the MCU, and I liked it a lot more. So, what do you think about Black Widow?
I still think it was kind of underwhelming. I didn't even think about watching it again.
So you've only seen it the one time?
I've only seen that one time. And I don't know. Aside from what you just talked about, just kind of like the CGI, I don't know what it was, but it looked weird.
See, people keep complaining about that
I can't
one
get
scene.
past that, okay?
It's one scene.
It doesn't matter.
It's a 2-hour movie.
It's not just one scene. It's multiple scenes. No, it is not. It is more than one.
You're a liar.
There's like 2 or 3.
You're pandering to the Twitter people.
There's 2 or 3.
There's at least 2 or 3.
There's at least
is
2
it?
or 3.
Is it the same scene?
No, wait, no.
What scene are you talking about?
There's the one at the beginning when the car flips, or I don't know what's going on. I think that's the first time we see Taskmaster.
Okay.
There's the scene where she jumps off the freaking plane. I don't know what that was.
that's the Twitter scene. That's what everybody complains about.
One more, I can't remember. Yeah.
Okay, 2 scenes.
At least 2 scenes.
Okay, so
I'm
you
sure
think
there's one more. I'll rewatch it and
you're gonna rewatch just to find the 1
scenes.
All right.
I'll give it a 6.
A 6. Okay. Moving on. Up next, and we're only doing the movies again because shows whatever. Shang Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. You go first. Did we watch this one together? This was theaters, yeah.
Yeah, we watched this one. I thought it was good. I really enjoyed it.
That's all you got for me?
Well, let me think a little bit.
Okay.
I think it's one of the movies that also has some of the coolest action sequences. But I really enjoyed just the story overall as well. Just kind of seeing, like his past as like how he grew up with his toxic father and whatnot, and how that didn't change him. I thought that was just pretty cool. How that made him the person who he is now.
You mind if I jump in?
Jump in, of course.
Yeah. I love how they reveal that he's Shang-Chi. Obviously, we know. They have that cool little fake reveal in the beginning too, where he's parking the car, but you think he's the rich guy getting out of the car, right? And he throws the keys to him, and then he's the guy, the valet. But yet, like the reveal to his friend who is Aquafina.
Yeah.
The reveal to his friend that like he's hiding some shit.
Yeah.
Like at first she's like, he doesn't even know how to fight, and this dude has a whole Jackie Chan fight scene.
And he starts freaking fighting in the bus.
Yeah. So what do you think?
So cool.
So you said you like the action, but like, what do you think about him fighting like a cool, like a kung fu movie at first, and then changing to like Dragon Ball by the end?
I thought it was cool.
See?
I thought it was cool.
I have a funny relationship with this movie, at least the first time, because I wanted it to be a kung fu movie. I thought, like, when we saw the trailer of him fighting, what's his name, Abomination. I thought, like, are we getting a Mortal Kombat in the MCU? Like, I thought it was gonna be like this little tournament thing, which would be cool if they do that. I'm a big Mortal Kombat fan. So we didn't get that, but I thought, okay, like whatever, it's gonna be a cool kung fu movie. Mm-hmm. And then once we started getting to like some magic shit, I was just like, why did they go this route? And then so I 180'd on it. But I was still like enjoying it, whatever. Right. But you know how you think about what you're gonna say in a movie while you're watching. I'm just like, like that. That's the point. I'm 180, and then it gets so over the top to where he's running on a dragon, and like his sister is like has her rope, whatever, and it's glowing, and she's doing all this shit, and he's doing some Dragon Ball. So I was just like, all right, I'm back. I'm back. I went all the way around. Yeah. So that's an example of something going too far, but going like it being a good decision.
Right.
Yeah, the dad is a great character too.
Yeah, I think
obsessed with getting the mom back.
Yeah, he's just a complex character. Yeah. He wasn't pure evil, right. I want to say.
And those are the best villains.
Yeah.
And like that was the whole thing that made him turn good and have a family anyway. It was her. So losing her, he lost himself.
Yeah.
Even though he was already a dick anyway, but but yeah, the whole scene with the dad and him giving him the rings, sacrificing himself. CGI's a little wonky on that dragon. You didn't mention it that time though, huh? You jerk.
Didn't let me finish.
You don't like women.
You don't let me finish.
All right. So, do you want to rank them all? Like number wise? You were just throwing it out there. Okay.
I just threw it out
That's
there.
fine.
I thought you were expecting it from me.
No, I actually don't want to.
Rank it.
Did I?
You ranked Black Widow, so I figured that's what you wanted.
So next up, I don't remember your thoughts on this, but Eternals. What you think?
I liked it. I actually watched it twice.
Okay.
So,
did anything change the second time you seen it?
I think it just solidified that I did enjoy it. It's not as bad as people made it out to be.
That one too, man.
Yeah. Which is kind of what I was saying. I think people are just, I don't know what it is. They just like hating.
Was that when people were out? Because people reacted well, at least like critically, to Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and then Eternals came out. And
that one got low scores also from the critics, I believe.
And I understand, like, if it's a bad movie, it's a bad movie. I have no problem shitting on a movie that's bad or just, accepting that it's bad. There's plenty of movies in the MCU, well, a couple in the MCU that I think are bad. And some of them are bad and I like anyway.
Yeah.
But watching Eternals, I don't know. I just feel like I'm crazy watching it. Because to me, like halfway through that movie too, when like they start explaining like where the Eternals come from and how like the universe is made and like what are they called? Not Celestials, are they? What are they called? The big guys. The big like God.
I thought they were.
Are they Celestials? Yeah. Anyway, once they start explaining all of that, I was like, this is awesome. It's like really sci-fi. I like how they show the powers. I love Richard Madden, who Icarus. I love the turn. I didn't see that turn coming, but like when he turns on them, it felt so like it actually hit me. And I was like, okay,
if he was like an actual villain, he'd be a fucking good villain.
Yeah, he was Superman. He was MCU's evil Superman, pretty much. So I hope he's not dead. I know he flew into the sun, whatever. But that's one of those movies that I don't understand how it gets that much hate. Mm-hmm. It feels like people that don't watch it, that haven't seen it, don't like it, are like the loudest about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I'm looking at my friend George.
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 Damn it, George.
Okay. So yeah, I like it.
I mean, I think what helped was the team, the dynamic of the Eternals.
Yeah.
They were like a family, and we saw how they all didn't get along, but they still were there for each other. That kind of stuff, like sibling, relationship between them.
Do you have a favorite Eternal?
I haven't thought about this.
Because mine was what's his name? I'm forgetting. They all had hard names. The guy that's playing Joker now. What's his name? Druig.
Oh, Druig.
Druig was his name.
He was cool.
He was cool, and he only had a little bit of screen time. And then Makari was cool too.
Makari was
the speedster.
Uh-huh.
I love the way they made her speed look on camera.
Yeah,
she was kicking Icarus's ass in the corner. Just
yeah, she's cool too.
Criticisms, I do see that it's messy too. I see or I realize that it's not a normal first, second, third act. It's all over the place. You're jumping back and forth. But I don't mind. I can follow the story. It's not that. I'm not just like, oh, where are we at? It tells you where we're at. It tells you the location, the year. It was easy to follow for me. I get that if you don't. I get there's not a lot of character arcs in there. It's really that feels like it should have been a series. That should have been like a 6-hour series, like Chloe Zhao, give her a budget.
It was kind of a long movie, wasn't it?
It's like, oh, no, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think it was like,
I can't remember.
I think it was just, I don't think it was one of those long, like 2 hour.
No, it wasn't super long, but it was
like
a longer
2:15 something. I don't know. I love how we have the internet and we're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not that important. So far, Black Widow, you were underwhelmed.
Yeah,
I liked. Second time. Shang-Chi, we both think is good.
Shang-Chi.
People love Shang-Chi. I heard people talking crazy saying Shang-Chi was better than No Way Home.
That's crazy.
Which we'll talk about next. Yeah. But Eternals, I think
enjoyed it.
I like it. I see the faults. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad movie though. And Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah, why don't you take the lead on this one?
Oh.
I know you want to.
I mean, they couldn't fail. I guess they could have. But knowing the MCU and their track record and how they could put these big groups together.
Right.
And how they kept it a secret, too. It was like the worst kept secret on purpose.
I remember, I think we were talking about this, like, are they really going to be in there?
Like, we knew.
Like, but we started that doubt right there. That was right there.
And
like,
that's that shit.
You know, like, what if they don't?
Oh, man. And the theater pop when...
It was great.
Andrew Garfield, his theater pop was loud. But Toby's theater pop was incredible.
Yeah. I think... There was a few pop-ups, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't just them coming out, if I remember correctly. Nope. I think there was a few.
No, because all the villains, like Green Goblin, when he popped out, well, his pumpkin bomb got a pop, and then when we see him pop out of the smoke, yep, Doc Ock.
I have to rewatch that movie.
It's so good.
Yeah,
and we didn't even get to start. We just said like, oh, this is. We didn't even get to set it up, but yeah, all 3 Spider-Man are in here. It was all but confirmed. It was rumored for so long. It actually did get leaks. It actually did get leaked. And even then I was like, but what if that leak was wrong? Because I wasn't looking for it.
It was just such a crazy idea, such a crazy attempt that we were like, that's not going to happen. Like, even though it's right in front of us, it was hard to believe.
And then, like, I remember when they announced Doctor Strange was in the movie. I was talking with a couple friends who was like, oh, they're doing it. Because, like, if Doctor Strange is in there, maybe some magic or whatever, and they come.
Right.
And it actually wasn't that. Oh, I guess it was because the magic led to it. Yeah,
to some extent.
But it's more than just a cameo fest. Like, if you just follow Tom Holland, his character arc, his story, it's great. It's a Spider-Man story.
Yeah, it's tragic but beautiful.
It beats down our favorite superhero. It beats him down until he's so depressed that he wants to kill. And that's my Spider-Man, baby. He needs to be sad.
I got the chills just thinking about it. Because I remember at the end when he is beating the shit out of Green Goblin, and we have other 2 Spider-Man, like, we've been there. Like, they're just watching him, like, right. What are you doing?
And
don't get there.
Those moments are so good. Like, when they kind of have to like talk him off the ledge, like metaphorically. And like, he's trying to be like, oh, no, you don't know what I've been through. But no, these 2 are the ones that do know what you've been through. And the fact that, like, in this universe, the 2 Spider-Man that we've seen growing up that made me like movies in general, right? Like that, like, I begged my mom to take me to watch Spider-Man, like 1, 2, and 3 in the theaters.
Spider-Man 2 is one of your favorite.
Spider-Man 3.
Okay, I mean, Spider-Man 3 is Spider-Man 3. My bad.
I didn't even say 2.
That's the bad one.
That's the bad one.
The bad one.
Yeah. Oh my God, go watch that episode, guys. Yeah, anyway, long story short is, like, to watch these Spider-Man that we grew up watching, talking down our Spider-Man now, and, you know, getting him to be Peter again and not lose himself, even though he just lost everybody.
He lost everything.
He's lost his aunt, his uncle, Tony.
He lost Tony. He was coming down from that.
So yeah, if you just follow his arc in there, it's a great story. It's a great movie. And then if you've seen the other Spider-Man movies, it's a great cameo fest.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you think that this movie is as good as it is because of the cameos? Or do you think that's just like a cherry on top?
I think it helps.
Yeah.
I think maybe it is a big reason because of what we just said, that, you know, it kind of adds to the story. We're like, hey, man, you're not the only one that knows what this is like.
Right.
You know, like, we're here too. And just kind of thinking of what it would be like without them there, it'd be a completely different movie.
The fact that we got this movie and then, like, after COVID and shit.
Right.
And, like, it felt like everybody was coming back to watch
because of this, I think, I don't know if these were just, like, rumors or if it's actually happening, but I believe that even Toby might be getting a Spider-Man movie,
and we'll see.
I feel Garfield. Like, I don't know, but
that would be cool. I think we're at the point where we can have multiple Spider-Man movies and people not be confused.
Right.
Okay. Moving on. Next up is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Go ahead, my friend.
I kind of feel conflicted.
Okay, here we go.
And I remember watching it and I was like, I like this movie. Like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, the last time I checked, you liked this movie, so I'm surprised you changed your mind a little
bit. I don't know. I think after some thought, I'm not too sure if I like it as much. I don't hate it. I don't think it's a completely bad movie. So I just don't like it as much as I did when I watched it the first time.
So what changed the second time?
So like I said, I didn't watch it a second time. It's just for me.
Oh, okay, just thinking
about it. I guess I was expecting something different than what we actually got. Maybe something, I don't know. I felt like this...
With like the multiverse stuff?
Yeah. It didn't feel much like a multiverse thing. Even though we know the concept were there, we saw the Doctor Strange from What If.
Well, not even. It wasn't him.
Well...
It was similar.
It was similar, I guess, yeah.
But it wasn't him. I wanted it to be so bad.
It would have been great, yeah.
I remember the theater. I don't know if I was telling you or Jets, but I was just like, it's him. It's him. But it wasn't.
Yeah, so, I don't know.
So, okay. So you thought it was just going to be, I know it's called Multiverse of Madness, but you thought we were going to go from universe to universe to universe.
That's kind of what I was expecting.
That sounds more like what Secret Wars is going to be.
Yeah, could be.
Or King Dynasty.
Could be.
Because, yeah, people were talking crazy. And I think it was coming off the high of No Way Home and seeing that people were all like, oh, Hugh Jackman's going to be in this one. Toby's going to come back for this one. Because Sam Raimi was directing.
I think it was hyped up too much. I think people... I think the problem with a lot of people is that they give themselves a false idea of what the movie's going to be like and what it's going to entail.
That's movie criticism in general, baby.
And then when it's not that, they're like, oh, I hate it. And they just close their mind completely from the actual story and from what the movie actually was. So, I don't know. That could be my own problem right now. That's why I don't like it as much anymore.
Well, just so I can get like where you're at, do you mind putting a number on this one? Like where you sit at now?
6.5.
Wow. Hey, we don't do 0.5s here.
6.
Dang. I thought you were going to go up. Never mind. We'll take the 0.5.
Actually, it makes sense to round up. I'll go with the 7.
Here we go. Look, you're a math guy. That's why.
Yeah. I will go to 7.
Wow. So I really like this movie.
Really?
Like, I love this movie.
I thought you weren't too hot about it.
No. Oh no. That's the next one. That's the one where I changed my mind after a little bit.
I think that's the one that I'm still kind of happy about.
All right, well, we'll see. So Multiverse of Madness is not what I thought it was going to be. I didn't think it would be like a cameo fest, like Wolverine, nothing. That's not how I am with movies. I don't just go in with high expectations. Like I kind of just go in like, I try to like blank slate, unless it's something like an Infinity War and like a big event where it's like, I know this is going to be good.
Right.
So going in, I didn't have like a certain number of cameos that I wanted or a certain number of universes I wanted to go to. I just thought it was going to be a multiverse story, and it was. I understand that criticism where it's called Multiverse of Madness. You thought you were going to go from universe to universe, and it was going to be all crazy. There's that one scene where you go through a bunch of universes.
Yeah, but they didn't show much. It was just kind of super fast. We did get that one universe, but...
We got the first one where the Doctor Strange, where America Chavez comes from.
Yeah.
Then we get... obviously our universe, and then we get that other universe where the Illuminati are in.
Oh, that's right.
Then we get the other universe where Doctor Strange is alive only by himself, the evil Doctor Strange. So we get 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, we do get 4. But yeah, we're not in some of them for a long time. I did like
America Chavez a lot, though. I think she was a likable character.
I like the setup, but like she didn't do much.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's what it tells.
Remember when that bee scared her and she like killed her parents? Stupid kid. She's dumb. No, she's all right. She's all right.
Okay, then.
You know, kids are going to be kids.
Kids are going to be kids. You know, they just kill their parents one day.
Damn. Raise your kids right.
Exactly.
Reference to our villains episode. Just raise your kids right. America Chavez was one more beat away from being a murderer.
She almost destroyed every universe.
And at that time, it seemed like everybody was getting a show. So it seemed like America Chavez was like getting set up for a show or something. But anyway, I want to talk about this movie.
Yeah.
So America Chavez, I think she's all right. I like her as America Chavez, and she has like a little character arc. with her standing up to Wanda and all that. Hey, there we go. She starts off being scared of a bee, and then she ends up saving the day. Yeah. Cinema, baby.
Cinema. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see more.
But yeah, so this it does have a weird feeling. Like Sam Raimi, I wouldn't mind if he came back, but I definitely like Doctor Strange one more, especially like the tone of it. It just feels weird. Like the tone of the movie feels like zany.
I was hoping it would feel weird. I don't think it felt weird to me.
Like it didn't feel like an MCU movie to me. Besides like the elements that are MCU in there. Like I'm talking about like the colors, just like how it's shot and everything. Like it definitely felt more like a Sam Raimi movie than anything. And I mean that's kind of like a positive in some spots in the movie. But Wanda just steals the show.
She does.
Wanda steals the show, and I just couldn't believe what we were seeing because I had rewatched WandaVision, at least like the last couple episodes going into it. And me and Jed were looking at each other. We're talking about it. And we're like, oh, I can't wait for her to be a villain one day. I didn't think it would be that weekend. Like, it is a quick switch, but it's not like it's not there. Yeah, because it was the week. So I didn't think it would happen that quick. But to act like it came out of nowhere.
Right. It'd be false.
Yeah, that'd be false. It's there. Like all the setup is there. Her life is awful.
Right.
It makes sense that she'd be a villain. So I love how Elizabeth Olsen played her. I love how much she feels like a witch in this one. Like the scene with her going behind the guy and saying run.
And starts running.
Yeah, and then her coming out of like the reflection and everything from the mirror dimension.
That's like zombie scene, not like when she's like walking with the broken leg, chasing freaking Doctor Strange. That one was cool.
She's a badass.
It scared the shit out of me.
my biggest knock though is that Doctor Strange doesn't really learn a lot in this movie.
So I think one of the things is that I don't feel like Doctor Strange was as strong in this movie as we are used to seeing, and I think that was also something that kind of bothered me.
Well, I mean, he's fighting another sorcerer, I guess. I mean, she's a witch, but
she's a witch.
Because like he tried putting her ass in the mirror dimension, and all she did was get out.
Yeah, that is true. I guess she is just that powerful.
Because think about it, like their Avengers team couldn't even get rid of her. Mm-hmm. I know that's why some people knock that scene. They're like, oh, it's bullshit, whatever. Well, she's a super powerful witch, you know. Like,
what do you expect?
I think if Doctor Strange went evil, I think he could take out some of these Avengers too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like then it does turn into like some cameos. We get Professor X, we get John Krasinski as
Richard Reed
as Mr. Fantastic, and I didn't see that coming. Richard. I didn't see any leaks on that, nothing. So I popped when I saw that shit. Yeah. I audibly said, "Oh shit!"
We did have that cool scene where she blows up freaking Bolt's freaking face off.
Oh yeah.
Or he closes his mouth.
She kills him very violently too. Like he pushed it. He pushed it PG-13 as far as it could go. So my biggest knock is that just Doctor Strange doesn't really change all that much besides getting a third eye. But Doctor Strange does do some cool shit. Like he
has a cool moments.
Once he has like a cape of dead souls and everything, and he's going up against Wanda. It's so cool. So I like it. You're a little
in between.
Down on
I'm in between. It has its moments. Maybe watching it again might solidify.
I think this one you would like more if you saw it again.
Which one I would, what side I'd go towards more.
This one is really fun. And I know that's a word we keep using. I'm not trying to use that word to like say it's not good. I'm saying it's good, but this one specifically was very fun. It felt like a roller coaster.
To me, that's the next one.
Okay, well, here we go. Next one is Thor Love and Thunder, baby.
Love and Thunder.
And you go ahead, go first.
I think people that hate on this movie.
I love how we keep talking about other people's opinions and not ours. But that's the state of the MCU. That's what we're talking about. That's the state
of the MCU. That's how we can give our own opinions. Like, all right, this is what people will think, or the majority of people think.
Or maybe somebody that wants to hear us but doesn't know a lot about the MCU.
Right, at least from our experience, right? At least from what we see on like social media and what other people that we know have said. I thought it was I think it was just a super fun movie.
Now, you've only seen it the one time.
I've seen it twice.
Okay.
So I was saying that the people that don't like it, they just gotta stop being so serious. They just gotta enjoy things for what they are.
Yeah.
And this was a fun movie. That's what it was. Kind of like, I don't know.
So you don't think their criticisms are valid?
Some of them are. Not all of them.
Okay. I don't even know what like
So
it seems like the people that don't like this movie just don't like anything about it.
I know. So the big thing, or at least from what I've seen a lot and from what I've heard from other people, is that they turned Thor into a joke.
Right.
And I can see that point, but also it's like, dude, just enjoy it.
What if they don't want
funny? He's always been kind of funny. Like from Thor 1, he was kind of like an airhead kind of idiot kind of guy.
That's why he's always been the butt of the joke, but not this far.
But how far was it for you? Because to me, it didn't seem like he was like a complete dumbass.
Now, I do think so. Huh? I do think that that they went too far. So I love Thor Ragnarok. It's my favorite Thor. That one, he is a joke, but he is taking himself seriously. He's taking the stakes seriously. Where this one, I feel like it almost feels like Taika, because Taika's a great director. Again, people are acting like Taika's not a good director all of a sudden.
No, he's a good director.
What's the movie? The Hitler one.
Oh,
Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit.
Watch Jojo Rabbit if you think Taika can't make a good movie.
That's a good movie.
He won an Oscar for it.
But just to spice things up again, or just to spice things up, watch What We Do in the Shadows.
And watch it baked or watch it drunk. You choose.
You choose.
That was the hardest I've
watched it both
in a long time. Well, you watched the show.
No, I watched.
I know. Yeah, we saw. We
watched the movie first, but I've watched the show too.
Yeah,
and I
haven't
think
seen
they're both
the show.
freaking funny. You were laughing, because you were the one that showed me the movie.
I seen it first on my own, or me and Jets, and I was cracking up.
And you were like, dude, you didn't watch this movie, and you're like, let's put it on.
Yeah.
And before anything came on the screen, you were laughing already.
You can't. If something came on the screen, it was him. Like when the casket opens and he's about to like go up like that, all stupid. He goes up. He's a vampire and he's coming out of his casket. But it's like before he even starts coming up, though, I started cracking up because I knew the ride I was getting on again. And that shit is hilarious.
Anyway,
we're werewolves, not swearwolves. Watch What We Do in the Shadows. Forget all of this Marvel stuff. Watch Jojo Rabbit.
Okay.
Anyway, so that shocks me even more that then we get to Thor: Love and Thunder. And it's almost like he just didn't give a shit. Like he was just treating it too much like a joke.
Right.
In my opinion. Like Thor Ragnarok, I think was like lightning in a bottle. Like that tone somehow worked, and it was taken seriously enough, but it was funny. It was really funny. One of the funniest MCU movies. And this one, it almost feels like somebody was trying to mimic that tone. But it's the same guy. That's what I'm saying. Like it just feels off where it goes. I think it goes too far. Right. Even though I'm cracking up. Like I did laugh at the goats.
Yeah.
The goats are funny. At least I know some people hate the goats. The goats are funny, and then it became too much, and then it got funny again. So that just happens to me.
Like why are you still doing it? Like why are they still screaming?
Yeah, I was just like, all right, I think we reached it. But then when they hit the moon or the planet, whatever, when the goat they're like riding into it, and they hit it, and then it happens again.
Like small
it screams
moon
again.
But yeah, like I said, like it does have its issues, but those moments to me were great. Like I really did enjoy those moments. And I think my biggest issue with it is that we didn't see enough of the God Killer.
You have Christian Bale.
You have Christian Bale and you misuse him.
And he's not like a jokey character, surprisingly.
To me, I think he was freaking scary.
Oh yeah,
like his villain was scary as hell. Like, dude, this is fucking.
I would have liked to see him kill more gods. Like he kills one of the gods off the screen.
Yeah,
why did they do that?
Without seeing him kill more gods, it's like you don't really know how much of a threat he really is.
Exactly,
and that kind of takes away from the suspense.
The scene that explains all my problems with this movie is when he goes to save Sif, and she had just got done fighting Gore.
Right,
like her arm is cut off, I think. Right?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Or something. I don't know. She's injured, and they're treating it like it's not serious at all. Like this is your friend. We haven't seen her in a couple movies. She's dying, or at least thought she was dying, and like she kind of plays it off, like, or just the scene is played off like almost like they know the audience is behind the camera and they're trying to make us laugh, like almost like. I don't know, like you could just tell like that the tone is way off. She's not the same character,
right?
And that's what I'm saying is like, to me, it went too far where maybe the scene could have been funny, but I don't know. I don't even know how you fix that scene. But yeah, to me, that's the issue with the whole movie.
Right.
Like I can deal with the Stormbreaker being alive and sentient and like moving around, being offended that he's trying to get Mjolnir back. And the way that I justify that, by the way, to get super nerdy with it.
Yeah, and we talked about this.
Oh, did I?
We did.
Okay, so I'll just say it again, is that the way that I justify it is that Groot cut off his arm.
Right, he was the one that put...
And yeah, so Groot is
together.
Stormbreaker, and if Groot is alive, and we've seen Groot grow back from a stem, I'm not saying that is a Groot, but that it is sentient because it comes from Groot.
It's a sentient Groot.
That's my way that I explain that off. But even then, I don't know. It is
to me,
funny.
That makes sense. I think that's funny.
That's what I'm saying. That one I do think is funny. Another thing that I don't like is what's his name? Is Zeus. Like that whole scene with Zeus, it just feels all off too. Like there should have been a badass fight between Thor and Zeus, and we just don't get it. But yeah, overall, I was higher on Thor: Love and Thunder after the first watch, even though maybe after first watch I was just probably like 7,
Right?
Because I really laughed and I like some of the fight scenes, like Christian Bale, and then just second watch and just more thought about it, I'm just like it's going down like to like a 5, maybe even lower. I think 5 is being nice, but
damn,
yeah, yeah, I really soured on it. So last one for Phase 4, and then we got 2 more.
Right.
Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Take the lead.
Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is incredible. It's one of my favorite ones from 4 and 5. We get Namor kicking ass. We get a nice story with Shuri becoming Black Panther. And I like that it was a tale of revenge up until, you know, they kind of did like the Last of Us thing. But it's a tale of revenge all the way up to the last minute. And then she's just like, but what if it wasn't? what if I was cool now?
Right.
But they do have some setup there. Like she heard her mom or her mom is with her, you know. It's almost like some Star Wars shit. But anyway, so I like Shuri's story. I like the hopelessness you feel at first with Chadwick or with T'Challa being gone.
Yeah,
and
the
everybody
first 10
feeling
minutes
lost.
were...
Oh, it was rough.
It was already rough.
You could already hear everybody crying in the first 10 minutes. Especially,
I was already teary-eyed.
Yeah. It breaks you right away. And then if that doesn't break you, the last like 2 minutes will break you. With them introducing
the nephew.
Young T'Challa.
Well, Shuri's nephew.
Shuri's nephew, T'Challa's son, T'Challa.
T'Challa.
What's the line? He's like, I am Prince T'Challa, son of King T'Challa. So good. Then the little kid's cute. But overall, the story with Namor and how we see, what is it called? What's the underwater place called?
I was going to say Atlantis.
Yeah, it used to be Atlantis. Man, I'm forgetting. Oh, Talocan. Kiki Talocan. Or whatever they say.
Yeah, I think
really good movie.
I'm in the same boat as you. I really...
Is that a water pun?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I for me, it's also one of the best movies from Phase 4 and 5. For the same reasons, and just to kind of just finally being able to see some like Latin American
representation
and culture. And
have we had really any before that?
Not that I can think of.
Like I'm just talking about MCU, but no, huh?
No.
Okay,
but Namor was great.
How he explains his name too, how he got it,
that whole backstory and showing that. But just him as a villain, he was cool.
He was so good because like I was rooting for him.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I was just like, "Nah, you're the bad guy."
Yeah,
and I think it's about the time when he kills Queen Ramonda.
Where it's like, oh shit,
you've gone too far.
Yeah, like hey man, I was on your side until now.
Which surprised me because I thought for sure they were gonna kill him after he did that. I was like, well, you're unredeemable. You can't even be an anti-hero. Like you killed Shuri's mom.
Anyway, I was gonna bring comic book talk, but that's for another.
Yeah, we don't do that here. We don't do that nerdy shit here.
That's for another time.
But yeah. Last thing I want to note from that movie is that last fight scene between Shuri and Namor on like the desert. I like how he had a weakness too. That's some very comic book shit. His weakness is like just dry him out.
Yeah.
Dry him out and he can't do shit.
Common sense in a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take a fish out the water.
But yeah, that fight is
Put it in the heat.
That fight is so brutal, and she's getting impaled and she's burning him and shit.
Yeah, I mean, to me, neither of them lost. I don't think he lost. I don't think she won.
Oh, he lost. He tapped out.
And
that's a loss. That's an L on the record. But yeah, we both agree that's a great movie. So we are winding down here. We got 2 more left. That's it for Phase 4. But Phase 5, we got 2 movies, right?
Yep. Very recent movies.
So Guardians 3. Now we've talked about in other episodes by now.
We had a whole episode.
Go check out our thoughts if you want to see. But just really quick, and I am going out of order because Ant-Man came first. But Guardians 3, we think is incredible. I'll just talk for myself now. The family dynamic, you believe in it. You care about these characters as individuals, and you care about them because they care about each other.
Exactly.
Like, it is a family. You do believe it. Rocket is incredible as a standout. His backstory is tragic. Great villain. Any thoughts for you? Just quick thoughts.
I'm kind of in the same mindset as you on this movie, and you want to hear more, go check out the episode.
Go check out the episode.
Go check out episode
after this one's done.
3.
I think it's 3. It's going to be titled Guardians Review, whatever. Go watch that. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Quantumania. Now, this one, I think, I'm on the opposite of the Thor Love and Thunder shit, where like I kind of agree with that one being bad. This one, I don't understand how much hate it gets. And maybe it is just, the vocal minority.
Right.
But this movie is very fun. Kang is incredible, and I just rewatched it for the second time today. Kang is incredible throughout the whole thing. Every scene he's in, he kills it, and he's not taken as a joke. The biggest joke in this movie is MODOK. Now, I can see people not liking that, especially if you're a MODOK guy. If MODOK's your boy, I could see you being pretty pissed off about this. But to me, MODOK has always been a joke. I mean, I'm not a comic book reader, but like just from stuff I've seen from like video games and TV, I don't know how you take a big ass head like that seriously. Now, to be fair, I know that you could do it, right? Like a better writer would make you believe. But overall, I don't have a problem with MODOK. My biggest issue is, I guess, the quantum realm itself. Like, what are the rules? It seems like they just threw every idea they had in there, and like I'm talking about everything, the technology, the characters that they use.
I kind of agree.
Bill Murray is a waste.
I don't know what's up with Bill Murray. I don't know why.
It seems like they just wanted Bill Murray and they made him do something. He wasn't
needed in there.
Absolutely,
he was just, I don't know. But kind of going off what you just said, you would at least, I was kind of expecting the quantum world to be different, to work different than to our like normal world.
Right. I mean, it is weird, but it just felt like there's no rule. Like, why is everybody there? Are they born there? Why does everybody look different? Because it kind of felt like Star Wars, like the cantina.
Like the cantina.
But it's like, okay, well then how did everybody get here?
Get there.
Because it's not like there's one race of people. There's different creatures and robots.
Yeah,
and
I don't know. That's a good question.
And I don't think you're supposed to know. Now, this movie is really funny. I laughed again at parts that I knew that were coming, including MODOK. But one of my favorite scenes that I saw getting shit on was when Hank comes back from he's like, you think he might be dead, his ship crashes. He comes back with his aunts, and they're like, oh, your aunts are here. And he's explaining like, oh yeah, when we came down here, they got sucked into whatever, a time vortex or something.
So they've actually been there for 1,000 years.
And they've been here for like 1,000 years, and they developed, and it's not like that, like they're regular ants. Like he had technology on them to make them smart. So if they use that logic and they were there for thousands of years, they have their own colony and they come back and shit, and they're established. I thought that was hilarious.
You know what? I want to see the ants again.
You want to see the ants again?
Yeah.
Like in future movies?
Yeah, like in like a future movie, you know, like they're just like an established race now or something. Like, oh yeah, our creator is Hank.
Yeah. That's the cool thing. It's not like they're talking or anything. Like, I don't know. I thought that was like, which is funny because I guess it's one of the writers from Rick and Morty, but it seemed like some Rick and Morty shit. And I mean, it makes sense, but it worked for me. I thought that was hilarious. And just the whole movie, I think, is funny. When it's time to get serious, it gets serious. Yeah, it reminds me of Thor Ragnarok in that way, where it is a comedy, but once the stakes get real, they're real. Where Love and Thunder, I don't think when stakes were getting real, you know. So, time to rank the movies, and then we'll finish up and get out of here. Now, I already have mine because I rank them every single time I watch a Marvel movie. I add it to the list. Now, I have my big MCU list that we'll reveal one day after we get 1 million subscribers. No, maybe a birthday anniversary. Or maybe one day when we're desperate. So, for the movies, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 movies as of right now. So, for me, starting off at number 9, do you want me to start my list already?
Go for it.
Starting off at number 9, Thor Love and Thunder. Clearly. I think you could have guessed that based off of what I said. Now, do you have a last place just right off the top?
Yeah, I got it ready.
All right. What's your Oh, okay. So Black Widow's your number 9.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. My number 8 is Black Widow. What's your number 8?
Multiverse of Madness.
Wow. You're a jerk. Boo. Where's the boo button?
Yay.
That's you. That's the scary button. You don't have a boo?
I guess not.
I'm going to record one. Boo. Okay. Number 7 for me is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And I was pretty high on it. I was a little high on it.
Yeah. That's kind of surprising.
What's your number 7?
Eternals.
Okay. My number 6 is Eternals. Now, Eternals over Ant-Man. I don't know. It just feels right. I like it more, even though it's probably a messier story than Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Right.
If you just ask me right now which one I'd rather put on, I'm putting on Eternals. I like that journey we go on. I like when shit gets real at the end and it's everybody versus Icarus. So Eternals gets my number 6? 9, 8, 7? Yeah, 6. What's your number 6?
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder. Okay. So we're around the same page right here, except for that Multiverse of Madness. I don't know what you're thinking there.
I don't know what you're thinking about with Love and Thunder. Or Black Widow, I should say.
Black Widow, I'm like one away from you.
Black Widow's the worst one.
You hate women. Okay. 9, 8, 7, 6. Number 5 for me is Shang Chi. You don't like that?
Shang Chi.
Hey, same spot. Okay, we got one. Number 4 is Multiverse of Madness, where it belongs.
Number 4 is Quantumania, where that belongs.
Yeah, I don't have beef with that. I don't have beef with
I don't know how people just like Quantumania so much. Sure.
Did I say that? Hey. Have you said Love and Thunder yet?
Yeah.
Can we run through really quick? So mine are Love and Thunder 9, number 8 Black Widow, number 7 Ant-Man, number 6 Eternals, number 5 Shang-Chi.
I'll start from 9. Black Widow, Multiverse of Madness, Eternals, Love and Thunder, Shang-Chi. Okay. And then Quantumania.
So we have the same top 3 then. Okay, so number 3. Wait, no, 4. We're on 4.
No.
Did I already say Multiverse of Madness?
Mine's Quantumania.
Okay. Number 3, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever.
I think we're going to have no, we're not. This is where we're going to change. So top 3, those are like a tier for me. Right? Okay, these are great. Number 2, Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh.
For me, it was No Way Home.
Okay.
But it was really close, though.
Yeah, they were close for me, too.
Super close.
I think if I rewatch Guardians 3, maybe that'll change. But as of right now, No Way Home still takes the cake, man. Still takes number one prize.
I think I might still be high off of the Guardians of the Galaxy. But I was thinking about it a lot right now, and I was just like, I don't know. I think Guardians of the Galaxy for me takes it for now.
Okay.
This list...
We have the same top 3?
This list is subject to change.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I think depending on the mood, day, and whatnot.
I haven't had any dramatic changes from any rewatches, though. I think maybe Black Widow... Maybe if I didn't rewatch it, I would have put Love and Thunder above it. But after rewatching and getting a more positive...
Rewatch Love and Thunder?
I've seen it twice, I think.
Have you?
I think. I could have swore I saw it when it came out on Disney+. Maybe not. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe I said something totally different like an hour ago. Okay. So I think that'll do it. We talked about the state of the MCU and our opinions on it, where we think it should go. We both think that it should condense a little bit. We ranked our Phase 4 and 5 movies. Shows, the only shows I think are even worth mentioning, WandaVision, Loki, maybe Moon Knight. Yeah, maybe. I don't think it's on the same tier as those, but I really like Moon Knight. But besides that, I think that'll do it for our first MCU topic. I think there's going to be plenty of MCU topics going forward. I just don't want us, because we could talk about the MCU every week, but we don't want to be an MCU channel.
Yeah, we're not that. We're entertainment.
We're entertainment, even though we've only talked about movie and TV so far. We'll talk about video games one day and maybe sports. We'll get that sports division going.
Hey, you know I'm all for that.
But as of right now, that'll do it for our first MCU episode. That'll do it for this episode.
Thank you all for watching. And once again...
Wait. Comment section. If you made it this far, go ahead and give us a like. Give us a subscribe. And go ahead and comment your rankings for Phase 4 and 5 of the MCU. Include TV shows if you want. I'd rather you didn't. I'd rather just have the movies, but if you want to include the shows, maybe do it separately. Or do it together. I don't care. As long as you're communicating.
And give us your thoughts on our lists, our opinions, and our thoughts. We do want to hear back from you all, and
we encourage engagement.
Exactly. So
until next time.
Peace.
Peace out.